Hi students, today we are going to discuss regarding the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, first we will see what is this parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, this parasympathetic nervous system, there are different names for this parasympathetic nervous system. You will also call it as cholinergic nervous system. Okay, you will also call it as craniosacral outflow. Okay, if you see the different names for this parasympathetic nervous system, that is cholinergic system, or you will also call it as a craniosacral outflow. Okay, if you see this having a very long pathway, if you see regarding this parasympathetic nervous system which is having a very long pathway, see that means long pathway means which is having a long neurons, so that what happens, you will also call it as a slower system. That means this system works very slowly. See, because of this long pathway, that means because of very long neurons, this you will call it as a slower system. Clear? See, and if you see here, the major neurotransmitter in case of this parasympathetic nervous system is the acetylcholine. Okay, you remember, this is very important. The most important neurotransmitter regarding this parasympathetic nervous system is the acetylcholine. Okay, and if you see what are the different types of receptors that are present in this parasympathetic nervous system, and okay, what are the locations and what are the different functions. Okay, we are going to learn one by one what are the different types of receptors that are present in this parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, first we'll see mainly two types of receptors that are present in this parasympathetic nervous system, that you will call it as a muscarinic receptors and nicotinic receptors. Okay, mainly these two types of receptors that are present in this parasympathetic nervous system. Again, if you see muscarinic, it is of three types, that is M1, M2 and M3. And if you see nicotinic, that is NM, next one is NN. Okay, these are the different types of receptors that are present in this parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, we will see one by one regarding these receptors and what is the location of these receptors and what are the functions of these receptors. Okay, we will see first one regarding M1 receptor. If you see, mainly we'll see what is the location, that means where this M1 receptor will be present. See, mainly present in the autonomic ganglia. Okay, mainly present in autonomic ganglia. Okay, this is the location of this M1, and apart from that, which is also present in gastric glands and present in the CNS. Okay, these are the main locations of this M1 receptors. Okay, it will be present in the autonomic ganglia in case of gastric glands and in the CNS. See what happens, I told you the important neurotransmitter is the acetylcholine. Clear? See, this acetylcholine once binds to the M1 receptor of the autonomic ganglia, then which will be leading to the depolarization. Okay, which will be depolarization and histamine release. Okay, see, this is regarding the function. Whenever this M1 muscarinic receptor, this acetylcholine binds to the M1 receptors of this autonomic ganglia, which will be leading to the depolarization and the histamine release. Okay, next one is regarding the gastric glands, which will be leading to the acid secretions. Okay, which will be causing the acid secretions. And next one is the CNS. Okay, in the CNS, which is having the function, you will call it as learning. Okay, and it will be useful for memory and for motor functions. Okay, see if it is present in the CNS, which will be useful for learning, memory, as well as for the motor functions. Okay, this is all regarding the M1 receptors. Clear? That means M1 receptors mainly present in the autonomic ganglia, gastric glands, as well as in case of the CNS. Okay, next we'll see regarding the M2. Okay, we'll see what is this M2, where it will be present. Okay, M2 mainly present in case of heart. Okay, that is in case of SA node. Okay, which will be present in the AV node, present in the atrium, present in the ventricles. Clear? And next one is in case of cholinergic nerve endings. See, I told you this, you will also call it as a cholinergic system. So, cholinergic nerve endings. And next one is in case of CNS. And next one is in case of visceral smooth muscles. Okay, these are all the locations of this M2. Okay, see what happens in case of SCA node, which will be causing, that is hyperpolarization. Okay, which will be causing the hyperpolarization in the heart. And in case of AV node, which will be causing decreased velocity of conduction. Okay, in case of atrium, causes decreases contractility, that means decreases the contractions of the atrium and decreases the action potential duration. Okay, in the ventricles also decreases the contractility. And next one is in case of cholinergic nerve endings, decreases the acetylcholine release. See, that means I told you one of the important neurotransmitter is the acetylcholine. So this acetylcholine release will be decreased. Okay, and in case of CNS, which will be causing tremors like fits, and which will be having the property of analgesia. Clear? And in case of visceral smooth muscles, which will be causing contraction. Clear? So this is all regarding this M2 receptors. Okay, what is this M2 receptors, which will be mainly present in case of SA node, AV node, atrium and ventricles. That means mainly which will be present in case of heart, and apart from that which also present in the cholinergic nerve endings, CNS, as well as the visceral smooth muscles. Okay, this is regarding the second receptor, that is the M2 receptor. Okay, next we will see regarding, next one is M3 receptor. Okay, so if you see this M3 receptor mainly present in visceral smooth muscles, okay, which is present in the iris of the eye. And next one is it is present in ciliary muscles. Okay, it is also present in exocrine glands. Next one is which will be present in the vascular endothelium. Okay, these are all the locations of this M3 receptors. Okay, will be present in the vascular smooth muscles, iris. Next one is ciliary muscles, exocrine glands and vascular endothelium. Okay, we'll see what is the function regarding this vascular smooth muscles, which will be causing contraction. Next, iris, which will be causing constriction of pupil. Okay, this constriction of pupil, you will also call it as a miosis. Okay, another terminology for the constriction of pupil, you will call it as a miosis. And next one is ciliary muscles undergoing contraction. Exocrine glands will be leading to the secretions of the exocrine glands, and vascular endothelium, which will be causing the release of nitric oxide, so which will be causing the vasodilation. Okay, see, this is regarding the M3 receptors. Okay, this is all regarding the muscarinic receptors, that is M1, M2 and M3 receptors. Clear? See, if you see, this M3 will be present in the vascular smooth muscles, iris, ciliary muscles, exocrine glands, and vascular endothelium. Okay, next we'll discuss regarding what are the different types of the nicotinic receptors. Okay, nicotinic receptors, I told you again, which will be NM and NN. Okay, see NM. Okay, NM means it is the muscles. Okay, NM regarding the muscles, so it is mainly present in the neuromuscular junction. Clear? Mainly NM will be present in the neuromuscular junction. See what is meant by this neuromuscular junction here, which is a junction between the neuron and the muscle. Okay, which will be leading to the depolarization of muscle and plate. Okay, which will be causing depolarization of the muscle and plate, so which will be leading to the contractions of skeletal muscle. Okay, so this is regarding the NM. Okay, NM means nicotinic present in the muscles. Okay, that is in the neuromuscular junction, which will be causing depolarization of muscle and plate. Clear? So that which will be leading to the contractions of the skeletal muscle. Okay, next one is NN. Okay, that means neuronal. Okay, N means neurons. See, that means which will be present in the autonomic ganglia. This will be present in autonomic ganglia, which will be causing the depolarization. Okay, which also present in adrenal medulla, so which will be causing, that is, catecholamine release. Okay, see, these catecholamines are nothing but the neurotransmitter release whenever this okay NN, okay, that means acetylcholine binds to the NN receptors of this adrenal medulla. Okay, next one is this also present in the CNS, so which will be causing, that is, site specific, that is, excitation or inhibition. Okay, see, this all regarding the nicotinic receptors. Okay, two types of nicotinic receptors, that is NM and NN. Okay, these are the different locations and the functions related to the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, next we are going to discuss regarding the sympathetic nervous system. Okay, and if you see this sympathetic nervous system, there are also different names for this sympathetic nervous system. You will also call it as adrenergic system, or you will also call it as a thoracolumbar outflow. See, what is meant by this thoracolumbar outflow? See, that means if you see the spinal cord, which is having the different parts like cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, and coccyx, from the thoracic and from the lumbar regions. Okay, the outflow. Okay, that is mainly, we will call it as a sympathetic nervous system. And if you see, which is having a very short neurons, and which is, we will call it as a faster system. Clear? When compared to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is having a very short neurons. Okay, so that what happens, this also you will call it as a faster system. Okay, here the main neurotransmitter is the noradrenaline. Okay, regarding the parasympathetic nervous system, we had seen the main neurotransmitter is the acetylcholine, but in case of sympathetic nervous system, the main neurotransmitter is the noradrenaline. Clear? See, here sympathetic nervous system also having some types of receptors. See, mainly having two types of receptors, that is alpha and beta receptors. Clear? See, alpha having again alpha 1 and alpha 2, beta, that is beta 1, beta 2, and beta 3. Okay, here also we'll discuss one by one regarding the location of these receptors and what is the functions. Okay, first we'll see the alpha 1. Okay, the alpha 1 mainly present in case of post junctional on effector organs. Okay, mainly present in the post junctional on effector organs. See this effector organs, which is nothing but the target organs, you will call it as a effector organs. Clear? See, that means mainly present in the smooth muscles. Next one is present in the glands. Next one is present in the gut. Next one is in case of liver. Next in case of heart, and in case of eye. Okay, if you see smooth muscle, which will be causing contractions of the smooth muscles, okay, which will be useful for the secretions of the glands, and gut, which will be causing the relaxation of the gut. Okay, in case of liver, which will be useful for glycogenolysis. The next one is heart, which will be causing arrhythmiasis. Next one is eye, which will be causing, that is, dilation of pupil. You will also call it as mydriasis. See, I told you in case of parasympathetic nervous system, which will be causing the meiosis, that is the constriction of the pupil. Clear? But here if you see regarding parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, these two are opposite in functions. Clear? See, parasympathetic, which will be causing constriction of the pupil, and the sympathetic nervous system, which will be causing the dilation of the pupil. Okay, this dilation of the pupil, the terminology we will call it as a mydriasis. Okay, so this is regarding the alpha 1 receptors. Is it clear? See, mainly present on the post junctional on the effector organs. Okay, next we will discuss regarding the alpha 2 receptors. Okay, if you see alpha 2 mainly present in the prejunctional, alpha 2 present in the prejunctional in nerve endings, and which is also present in the post junctional also, that is in case of brain and pancreas. Clear? See, mainly which is present in the prejunctional nerve endings, and which can also present in the post junctional, that is in case of brain and the pancreas. Clear? And if you see mainly what happens in the prejunctional, which will be inhibiting, that is transmitter release. Okay, which will be causing the inhibition of the transmitter release. See, that means post junctionally, which will be present in the blood vessels, which will be causing vasoconstriction of the blood vessels. And next one is in case of pancreas. Okay, I told you which will be present in the pancreas, mainly in the beta cells. Okay, which will be causing that is decrease insulin release. Okay, next one is which is also present in platelets, which will be causing aggregation of platelets. Okay, so this is regarding the alpha 2 receptors. Clear? Which will be present in the prejunctional nerve endings, which can also present in the post junctional, that is in case of brain and the pancreas. Okay, prejunctionally, which will be inhibits the transmitter release. Okay, blood vessels causing vasoconstriction, pancreas mainly in the beta cells, which will be decreasing the insulin release, and platelets, which will be causing the platelet aggregation. Okay, next we'll see the beta receptors. Okay, first we'll see regarding beta 1. Okay, this beta 1, which will be present in case of the heart, which will be causing cardiac stimulation. See, that means whenever the noradrenaline binds to the beta 1 receptors of the heart immediately, which will be leading to the cardiac stimulation. Okay, next one is which is also present in the JG cells of the kidney. Clear? That is juxtaglomerular cells in case of the kidneys, which will be causing, that is, renin release. Clear? So this is regarding the beta 1 receptors. Next one is we'll see beta 2. Okay, present in case of bronchi. Okay, present in the blood vessels, present in the uterus, present in the liver. Okay, present in GIT, present in urinary tract. Okay, See, these are the different locations of these beta 2 receptors. See, bronchi, which will be causing, that is dilation of the bronchi, that means causing the bronchodilation, and blood vessels is dilated, that means which will be causing vasodilation. So uterus is going to be relaxation of the uterus, and liver, here glycogenolysis you are going to be observed, and GIT, that is relaxation of the GIT, and urinary tract, mainly the detrusor muscles. Clear? See, that is whatever the detrusor muscles will be present, that will be causing relaxation of the detrusor muscles. Okay, this is regarding the beta 2 receptors. Okay, that is bronchi, blood vessels, uterus, liver, GIT, and urinary tract. Okay, next one is last one, that is beta 3. Okay, this beta 3 mainly present only in one organ, that is adipose tissue. Okay, in the adipose tissue, which will be causing lipolysis. Clear? See, this is the only location of this beta 3 receptors that is mainly present in the adipose tissue, which will be causing the lipolysis. Okay, that's all students regarding the sympathetic and parasympathetic system, and overview and briefly I have discussed regarding these two systems. Okay, I hope you understood this, both the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Thank you so much.